Okay, I'm gonna try and keep this video short because I am, yeah, it's really fucking smoky here, and it's not super fun to be outside, but like even in the garage. Um, so this is gonna be a quick video on electric power steering swapping any New Edge or Fox Body Mustang. Also, this is Pat's garage. Hopefully you find this video informative. If you do, leave a like at the end, or yeah, leave a comment and let me know things I could improve on, or things you notice that are a little jank with this thing, and have some questions. Who knows? But basically, I'm gonna go over the high pressure line and the low pressure line first. Basically, I know on Fox bodies this can fit up as well. I've seen a video on YouTube where someone connects the high pressure line to one of these. Be careful though. These do have a Viton or like an O-ring sometimes. I think there's also a different style as well. But you want to be careful because these are like 1400 psi. This pump is a Volvo electric power steering pump. I believe the model year this came out of was a S60 from 2003 to 2009. But I could be wrong on that. Just search up on eBay electric power steering pump or Volvo electric power steering pump, and you'll find about 5, 6 different models of this pump. They all have 2 wiring connectors and a high pressure and low pressure side. The low pressure side is directly into the bottle right there, and the high pressure side is on like a metal part right below it. And let's see if I have I had to cut up the bracket a bit, but sometimes you'll also see it with like a metal bracket that's surrounding it. See if I can uncover this a bit. So that's part of the bracket. But you can kind of use that to, if you get it with it, you can kind of use that to mock up and make some mounts, or you can make your own custom ones. But yeah, there's 3 mounting points for this pump. But back to the high pressure side. There's tons of different styles of this pump, but just make sure that seals because these are 1400 psi. You don't want it leaking. For the low pressure side, the line just slid right on. So I didn't have to do anything. Only thing I had to do for the high pressure side was just replace the tiny little seal because they're one-time use. So this pump is made by Ford, and it's on Volvo vehicles. I'm pretty sure it was also on like a Ford Focus in Europe. I think it was like the Focus ST that was basically the Volvo P30 or whatever. There's a weird Volvo model, C30. It's like the entire hatch is glass. Volvo's or Ford's RS, in like that model year kind of range, was basically one of those cars, and I'm pretty sure they came with this pump as well. So you can get this from a ton of different cars. Just search it up on eBay and you'll find tons of different listings. You can even find them brand new from like Chinese companies now. Buying one brand new from Volvo is like $1,300. So go with the Chinese aftermarket one because you can go through how many of those? They're $200 each. You could go through 5 before you get to the price of a Volvo one. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind, which might say something about the quality of them. But yeah, you can mount this wherever you want. You can even put it in the trunk. I'm going to go over the wiring now, though. So basically, there's 2 different plugs. One of them is just a 6-gauge positive and negative. So I have it going to an 80 amp resettable fuse. And then it just goes to a post where the battery connects to. The battery's in the trunk, so a wire comes up to here, connects there, and then the alternator wire and the wires for the starter connect there as well, and the negative for the starter is grounded over here. So yeah, that's the wiring for that plug. For the other plug, what's it called? There's 3 wires on it. You only need one of them, and it is the control wire, which, if my memory serves me correct, it is white and blue. It has like a blue line, and it's and the rest of it's kind of white. It could turn yellow over time as well. So you need that wire. The other 2 wires, I'm pretty sure, had a red stripe on them. You can ignore the 2 that have a red stripe on them. Might also be a good idea to cross-reference what I'm saying with a different video. It doesn't even need to be on another Ford vehicle. Just on these pumps, make sure it is the correct wire that I'm talking about. You probably won't do any damage if you got it wrong, but just to be safe. But, yeah, so that's the wiring for the pump. How I have it connected in the car is basically this control wire is going into the car, and it's going, you can either wire it to a key on, ignition off power source, or like key on ignition, or basically, you know, the second click right before you turn on the engine, you can set it up to turn on when it's like that, but I wanted to have it on a switch so that if I had any problems or anything like that, I can shut it off, drive home without any issues. So basically, the wiring for it goes directly from the pump to this switch, and then there's a wire that goes over here to the power source. And the power source I'm using is the one for the cigarette lighter. So basically, I put an add a fuse circuit right there, which is basically, it's like a connector that you plug into the fuse terminal, and then it creates 2 different plugs for you to put 2 different fuses in. So, yeah, that's what I did, and still have working cigarette lighter port. You need a 10 amp fuse there, so that's one thing, and I'll just turn this on for a sec. It's not super loud, and when I'm a little bit about how it feels, compared to the stock pump, there's a tiny bit more resistance, which I actually really like. I thought the stock pump was, I like just a tiny bit heavier steering. And the stock one seemed kind of light, and it was like super noisy. But now you can actually barely hear the pump over the sound of the engine. Like, it seemed kind of loud just running there when everything's quiet. But, like, you can barely hear it when the engine's running. So, large improvement there. I like that. So, yeah. Also, you don't have to do this, but I created a cover for the front of the pump to try and kind of minimize water getting directly onto the plugs. Yeah, I don't know how well it's going to work, but it's something. And it kind of also just redirects the air a little bit. I think. I don't have a wind tunnel. I don't know. But, yeah, also, one thing is, if you want to mount it here, what I'd do is cut up the crash bar to get it to fit. And it's not just that little bottom part that I had to cut out. It's like all the way up. You can see, it's kind of like a V up there. So this top part of the pump kind of comes out like a V underneath. Like, you can kind of see that bolt is like completely covered right now. So removing this pump's a little bit of a pain in the ass. Like, you'd have to take off front bumper, this crash bar, and then, this bumper support bar, and then unbolt the pump from the crash bar. Because this cover is molded directly to this, like, cover right here that's behind. So, yeah, I wanted to put it here because it's looks nice and it's kind of convenient to fill. Although I did have to clearance the hood. So, yeah, that's what I had to do there. I think that's all I need to cover. Also, this car has stripped interior, so I made some protective panels for the wiring. Which I have the trunk in the battery. I think I already showed this, but I might as well go over it a little more. But I have a 200 amp breaker right there, and then the wiring goes right here. Oh, yeah, this has only been on for a few weeks, but I definitely need to cover this with something. And, I'm probably going to extend this wire a little bit. It's a little too short, so I'm going to need to figure that out. Shoot. So, basically this is how it's routed, and then the battery is completely sealed, and there is a battery vent going out of the car, except this is kind of where you fuel the car, but it's fine. I mean, if you have sparks there anyways, it's going to be a problem, but I'm sure it's fine here. Yeah, I think that's all I have to cover. Hope you all enjoy your day, and yeah, bye for now. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Bye for now.